concerning the extraordinary activity on our Sun, a massive solar explosion felt on Earth, the Moon, and Mars simultaneously for the first time ever. Instruments in different parts of the solar system all captured radiation from the same coronal mass ejection for the first time ever. On October 28, 2021, a huge burst of plasma and magnetized particles erupted from the Sun. The massive solar outburst washed over Earth, the Moon, and Mars, bathing them in radiation, and for the first time instruments on all three bodies measured the same event almost simultaneously. On Mars, the European Space Agency's ExoMars Trace Gas Orbiter, TGO for short, and NASA's Curiosity rover registered the influx of energized particles. On the Moon, these particles were picked up by the Chinese National Space Administration's Chang'e 4 and NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter LRO, and closer to home, the German Aerospace Center's EU Crocus satellite detected the radiation from low Earth orbit. The effects of this solar hat trick were reported August 8 in the journal Geophysics Research Letters. Understanding such events, known as coronal mass ejections (CMEs), is crucial for future space exploration, including planned missions to send astronauts to Mars and to establish a scientific outpost on the Moon. On Earth, our magnetic field acts as a shield against most dangerous solar outbursts, but the Moon and Mars lack this protective magnetosphere, which means that a lot more radiation makes it to their surfaces. All that radiation can have a negative impact on astronauts. Exposure to high doses of radiation could lead to skin irritation, nausea, blood disorders, weakened immunity, and even cancer, according to a 2014 study published in the journal Life. In acute cases, it can cause burns and neurological degeneration. A dangerous dose is considered to be around 700 milligray, 1 gray being 1 unit of radiation. Fortunately, the October 28 CME was much weaker than that, only clocking in at around 31 milligray. But CMEs become both more frequent and more intense as the Sun approaches its peak of its 11-year solar cycle activity, which could begin as soon as the end of this year. The new study found that Earth's magnetosphere and atmosphere rendered the radiation from the event negligible by the time it reached our planet's surface. Mars' surface got about 1/30th of the initial dose thanks to buffering effects from its atmosphere, but just over half of the initial dose of radiation from the CME hit the Moon's surface. While this particular CME event was not strong enough to potentially sicken a human, half of the radiation from a larger outburst could be deadly. Studying where and how CMEs hit bodies beyond Earth could help scientists develop a shielding necessary to protect future astronauts. Space radiation can create a real danger to our exploration throughout the solar system, said Colin Wilson, project scientist at ExoMars TGO. He said, thanks to data from missions like ExoMars, we can prepare for how best to protect our human explorers. And this is by Joanna Thompson on Live Science. Please leave your comments and thank you for your support. Please support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.